There he is. Welcome to 10,000 Things with two sisters writing and publishing. We are so excited that you're here tonight because it is our 6th episode and we have a special guest. We're so excited that you're here. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins
and I'm Catherine Greenspan, the other sister.
And we're super excited to introduce our special genius artist guest, Micah Blacklight. How are you, Micah?
Hi, Micah.
I am wonderful, ladies. How are you both?
We're great. So,
is my audio coming in good? Is everything fine?
It's all
excellent. All good. Thank you for being here.
Okay.
Yes. So Micah Blacklight is a genius artist, graphic designer, and Catherine met him and they started talking, and Catherine's brainchild has been our anthologies of short stories, and she showed him our cover, which was pretty dull, but you know, it had the right words on it. But Catherine, do you want to talk about the exchange that you and Micah had, and then we're going to hear from Micah about his creative synergy that happened with the two of you?
Yes, absolutely. So I met Micah at a networking event, and then I looked him up and saw all of his amazing work, and I thought, wow, we need him. We need his gift. And we're in the middle of putting together our 3rd anthology of international authors. These are our contest winners. We hold contests on our website every month, and the winners each year are published in our anthologies. And we've published 2. We're in the process of publishing 3, and I just couldn't bring myself to make another cover that looked like this. So I shared this with Micah, and I said, Micah, can you help? And he said, yes, I can help, but why does your book not have a title? And I said, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's the anthology. So the 2 things, because we have 10,000 things that if you're a writer of a book, you need to be aware of. We always talk about the 10,000 things. 2 of them we're going to talk about tonight is, number 1, your title is not the type of book it is. You need an actual title. And then the second is you need a more compelling cover than this. And this was our 1st anthology. Our 2nd anthology is identical, except instead of 1st, it says 2nd. And then it's a shade of like a peachy, it's like sort of a peachy pink. So super boring. So we're going to talk a little bit to Micah about his impressions and what his thoughts, and then Elizabeth and Micah put together the ideas for the cover, and then we're going to show you the cover. So Micah, welcome.
So Micah, what were your thoughts when you saw the cover and then you got a vision, and can you talk to us?
Well, to be fair, Catherine, before she showed me the cover, she's like, "Listen, I'm almost cringing. I don't want to." You know, she just, there were a whole lot of disclaimers before she actually showed it. So she prepared me. You know, she prepared me for what I was about to see, and I still couldn't keep it off my face. I was like, "Oh," like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" And so I was deeply excited on multiple levels when you brought me on board to just be like, is there something you can do? You know, and so the brainstorming began with you and I, actually, Elizabeth. But the thing was, what the listeners and the viewers may not necessarily know is that Catherine is, so the 2 sisters, if you've been listening, right, they have different personalities, but they're one creature in terms of this, right? and Catherine is the part of the creature that is pragmatic, and that is the and the right. And Elizabeth is like, "Whoo, I got the ideas. I'm a dreamer." And so And for all of you listening out there, you're going to need both of those aspects. Like the two sisters have it because in literal aspects, because there's two of them, right? But you, if you're first time author, you're going to need to have both of those aspects. You're going to need your dreamer, and you're going to need the person who's like, okay, dreamer, like this is where reality comes in, and we can see where we can fit it all in, right? And so Catherine was like, listen, Elizabeth, this is your moment. I'm giving this to you. You and Micah can just do what you want. You can do what you want. Like, so the sky's the limit. And so Elizabeth, I'd like to ask you, what was your response when you heard Catherine be like, go, like, just go in?
I was really excited because the covers, they get the idea across. Our anthologies have been very popular. They're international. We have writers across the world who read them and share them with their fans. It's awesome. But they just needed some personality and some color and some design and style. So I was excited, especially when we met over our first call, because your vision is so fantastical and you have no limits, and you're just, there is no box to think outside of with you. It's, it's like a spiral and a circle and a star and an explosion. There's all kinds of forget about anything conventional. So I was really excited because then it evolved into some of the imagery that I use that I love. And one of them is mermaids. This is one thing I have on my desk. It's a mermaid. It's made of sand that I bought in Florida, and it has sparkles. But anyway, you love mermaids. And
I do.
My book, Husbands Incorporated, takes place at Sea Castle. Sea Castle is a building that I designed, and the whole story takes place there. And so, of course, I have a castle on my desk, and I love castles. So castles and mermaids. And then I'm like, somehow the three of us came up with this idea that the title that was lacking would be Sea Castle.
Sea Castle.
And so and of course, sea has double meaning. You can see, but the sea is vast and infinite. And then the depth of it, and the stories and the imagination and creativity and short stories. And then castle, like, how can you not be intrigued by the idea of a castle, right? And then if you add in a little bit of mermaid magic, oh my gosh, I really thought the phone was just going to blow up as we were doing our call, because the creative synergy was like electrifying. Even though you all are on the other side of the country from me, really just, I love it when that kind of creative energy just explodes.
Yes.
But Micah, so Micah, our mission here is to teach writers everything they need to know to write, publish, and promote a book. And there's the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, but people do. And can you talk about the elements that are so important that writers need to consider for a great cover?
I can. And one of the first things I will say is to make sure, all writers out there, anybody listening, watching, to make sure that you know that you're going to find multitudes of rules. There's different people who will give you different rules when it comes to what specifically makes a good cover. And what I will say is what works for one person may not necessarily work for you. One of the best things to do is to go into your niche, go into like where you're looking to get in. Is it a mystery? Is it a thriller? Is it, whatever. And like do a little research. But honestly, don't do it so much, because you're gonna want to go into box land, be like, oh, this is what they do when you're doing a mystery. This is what And so my advice to folk, and one of the reasons why the two sisters brought me on, was to be like, no, let's do something that's exciting. Let's do something that we as consumers would look at the shelf and go, oh, I want that. I want to know what that is, See, something in terms of color, something in terms of subject matter, composition that pops, something that isn't, if it's going to be, say it's going to be a thumbnail, it's also got to read, pretty small, relatively small, because that's how a lot of people shop, ebooks, etc. So something that when you see on a screen against a sea of other covers, are you going to be like, no, or is it going to be like what's that? Now, you might not want to go super duper ridiculous. We went because we can, because they're two sisters and they bought me, and I'm like, hell yeah, I love yes. Like, I'm all about it. But one of the things that I would say is treat yourself the way you would treat your readers, the way you would treat yourself, right? You know, most of you authors, the reason you want to write is because you've been reading your entire lives and you're like, I want to do that. I feel like I can do that, right? So you are also your own customer. You are the person who's shopping for your books. So what entices you? What excites you? There are some people who are really excited by nothing but a good font. They're excited by like a good series of words, and that's it. There's people who are like, ooh, and if those are the people that you're aiming at, then do that kind of cover. That's a niche, though. Understand that that's not most people, right? But there's a chunk of people who are like, ooh, font, right? That's gonna be but there's gonna be other people who are like, colors, shape, you know, fantasy. Ooh, what, you know, what is that? What is that? And I go for the what is that factor. So I encourage you, all of you watching and listening, to go for the version of what is that in your particular niche, in your particular genre. What is that? What, you know, because you want attention. You want everybody's attention, especially these days. It's so fast. It's so like, no, cancel, next, scroll. And so you want something that's going to be scroll, pause. Wait, go back. You know what I mean? But, like, so that's the advice I would give you.
Oh, I love that. And I especially love how you use so much color and so many unique concepts blended together in ways that I've never seen before. So
thank you.
You're welcome. Can you tell our viewers where they can see some of your work?
One of the best places, okay, let's see. If you are social media people, which most everybody is these days, I don't even know. Instagram is a good place, and I keep it really simple. Micah Blacklight, MICAH BLACKLIGHT. I don't know. This is a real quick tangent. I'm not sure why so many people change their names on every platform, so it makes it really ridiculously hard to find you on the platforms. Squirrel number 3 over here and skunk 4 over here. And it's like, why? What are you doing? So I keep mine simple across the platforms. Micah Blacklight. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram. And the other best place to find me, because I'm also a coach and I do a whole bunch of other things. So the best place to find like all of that would be at iamcatalyst.com with dashes between each. I'm sure the links will be someplace. But iamcatalyst.com is the best place. iamcatalyst.com/hub is like where I keep the chunks, all the little projects. Think. So you can find them in nice, neat little rows.
Awesome. Thank you.
And thanks for asking.
Oh, you're welcome. Because so when you go to iamcatalyst.com and you read some of the things that Micah wrote, like about his child and the idea of having he just puts things into words that I never would have thought of. And I'm a writer. I mean, it's fascinating. So what that does as a reader is it helps you see that it's okay. It like gives you license to think in a way that's way out of ordinary reality, which is awesome. And that's what creativity is. Create your own. Use your own. Micah makes up words. So when you read a text message from him, you have to like, you have to sort of like, okay, this is Micah speak. I love it. It's really fascinating.
Call it Micah niece.
Micah
They've been
niece.
calling it that for years and years. Or Blacklighties. This is both of those, depending on how they know me. It's like, oh, that's Blacklighties. Oh yeah, I love Blacklighties.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Because most of us are so trained to think and act in a certain way. And then as creators, we create according to the rules that you just told people not to listen to. So it's really refreshing to meet somebody like you and then to see your work. So we're really honored that this cover is going to be, you know, the segue into our next anthology, because Sea Castle, the colors, the shapes, the mermaid concept. So
yeah, so this is Sea Castle. It's our 3rd anthology. And then we're actually, I mean, it's November already. So we've got contest winners for 2020, January through October. So we're getting ready. We're really behind in getting this one out in 2020, but it's been that kind of year.
It has. It really has. If you're going to be behind on any year, this is the one year.
So then we're going to follow it with Sea Castle 4, and then we're actually going to have it. Well, let's just get to it. I'll just show it to you.
The big reveal.
Okay, show it, Catherine. Okay. Oh, wow. Can you talk? Because they have it on speaker view. So if you talk, you'll be bigger.
Oh, Catherine. Catherine, you
yeah.
gotta talk.
Okay, so this is Sea Castle number 3. Two Sisters Writing and Publishing presents Sea Castle 3, an international anthology. And I'm just going to zoom in on her face because I love that our mermaid, first of all, she is the first ever mermaid of this. This is a unique mermaid. This is a Micah Blacklight mermaid. And look what she's holding. She's holding a book.
Yeah.
She's got on reading glasses.
Yeah.
Whoever would have put reading glasses on a mermaid?
Yes.
I love it.
Or a book in her hand.
Or a book in her hand. Have you ever seen a mermaid with a book in her hand? No. And then look at her expression. I love it. So in theory, in my mind anyway, she's holding a book by our authors and she's just so into it. Look at that expression.
Love that.
Saucy.
Yes. And then look at her.
Go ahead.
I just love the voluptuousness and the colors, the purples, the orange, the green, the blue, the yellow, the gold. It's like so rich. Like I love voluptuous shapes and those rich jewel tone colors all blurred together and just like the whole tale. It's, oh my gosh, it's just beautiful. We love it.
Yay!
So that is Sea Castle 3. And so Sea Castle 4 is going to have a different Mercreature, but we're going to keep with the theme of Sea Castle and mermaids. And maybe it'll be a merman. We don't know yet. We don't know what number 4 is going to look like. And then ultimately we're going to go back and redo the covers of 1 and 2 on the Sea and re-release them. Exactly. Exactly.
I love that. That is awesome.
Yes.
It's so fun.
Super exciting. A quick note on the I Am Catalyst. I think there's another iamcatalyst.com somewhere. It's like a domain up for sale or whatever. So mine is all dashes between. So I-am, like that. So it's iamcatalyst.com, but there's dashes between every word. And it's not an M dash. It's like an actual dash. I just wanted to give y'all a note for that, just in case there's people out there who are going, oh, let me go. And they're like, wait.
Yeah.
That would be why.
Okay.
Somebody bought it and I was like, I'm not about to spend that much money for, stop it. Like, no,
I hear you.
No.
So I'll put a link in the description box so that people can link to it, Micah, and see and people will see the similarity in your style. So we're just so excited to work with you. And thank you for sharing your creative vision and genius with Two Sisters Writing and Publishing. And all the authors around the world who'll be showcased in the book with this very unique artwork on the cover.
So excited for our authors.
Yeah.
I am extremely excited for this project. Thank you very much for bringing me on. I cannot wait for what's going to come out. I'm curious about what the next Mercreature is going to look like. And it's also super cool because now that we have this framework, these anthologies are the Mercastle anthologies, then it also gives us a little bit of leeway into the possibilities for some of the writing prompts, for some of the writing contests that you guys put out sometimes, you know what I mean? In terms of the authors that they can sort of get into a constructed world that's collective in being made, but it's got this single framework of Sea Castle going through it. So that's an exciting possibility as well.
It's like infinite creative potential because what is the backstory on the Mercreature? Like, what is this woman's name? This mermaid, what is her name? What is she reading? What is she thinking? What's causing that expression on her face? All that.
Yes.
And
all those out there, you need to start thinking about it. If you are looking to submit, you might want to start thinking about ideas for how you would answer the questions she just asked.
Yes. In fact, we need to have one of our short story contests be all about mermaids.
We did actually in the first one of the November of 2016 contest was
I remember.
Write about a mermaid. And our author was Joyce Stein of Detroit.
Go ahead, Joyce.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joyce.
This is so exciting.
This was 2016? That's lovely.
2016.
And there's a bunch of people. I'm serious, because now it's going to be like, okay, we want you to write about a mermaid. Only this time we want you or a Mercreature, because they're going to change every cover. We want you to write about a Mercreature of Sea Castle, right around the origins of the Mercreature of Sea Castle. Where'd she come from? Where'd he come from? Where'd they come from? What's going on with that? Like, oh,
right.
That's
Endless,
so delightful.
endless.
It is. So as we, anything else, Catherine? Because I want to ask Micah to share some guidance with authors about how to find a graphic artist or somebody that they vibe with and share a vision and can get the synergy like we're enjoying. Okay, Catherine.
Yeah, let's
else?
go. No, I love that. Yeah.
So Micah, do you have any guidance or advice for our authors watching who are looking for a graphic designer or an artist to design their covers?
Yes, and it's going to be a little varied, because this is one of the places where money does play a factor. The amount of capital you have, the amount of funds you have to invest in this particular kind of thing will absolutely play a factor. So what I would say for those of you first time who have very small budgets, limited budgets, that is to say you're coming out of your own pockets, you don't have a whole lot of, you might find it beneficial to go on a site like Fiverr, or I think there's one more, where you can just, they're basically freelance hubs with really, really low ceilings, but they give pretty decent work, right? And sometimes you can find really, really good work. It depends. Do your research, just hunt around for the tags or whatever that are in the genre that you want, or the book covers, etc. That is one place to begin for those on a budget, those on the economic piece. For those of you who do have a little bit, just like, no, I want my cover to sing, right? Like I want to work specifically with a one-on-one person, like the two sisters did. I would say go for, like, Instagram is really good for this. Go for artists whose work catches your eye, artists whose aesthetic catches your eye, artists whose subject matter catches your eye, and specifically if you're first timing and you have some budget but you're not like already a recognized name or whatever, look for the artists whose following isn't giganormous yet, right? Like go for the ones that it's a a modern several thousand is good, but not super huge, because then they probably got their booked out of the brain and their budget is going to be way beyond you, right? So like these are the kinds of things that but if you're liking their work, if you're digging their work, then it can be a plus for both of you, because you are giving them a chance to showcase their work and you get to showcase their work and your work simultaneously. So those are the two pieces those are the two biggest pieces I would say.
Thank you. I think the other website you were referencing is 99 Designs. Right?
Yes.
99 Designs and Fiverr. We've used 99 Designs and we're very pleased. So those are really good.
But just for logos, not for book covers.
We've not used. We always use somebody like yourself, Micah, an artist. Do you call yourself an artist?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I call myself an all-around artist just because I do so many things, on the visual as well as all these others. But yes, I'm absolutely an artist for sure.
Okay, great. So the optimum experience with your book cover design is to work with an artist who can capture your vision the way you want it. So we are so immensely grateful to work with you, Micah. And yes,
thank you so much.
We are.
You're welcome. It's a delight. It's just to connect on a creative level and create something beautiful is just that delights people around the world is really what this is all about.
Around the world.
So good.
Love
and then
it.
You can reach people, you can reach this globe in ways that are different, in ways that are touching and moving and long lasting, because everybody remembers books they love, period. That's just how it works. And you know what I mean? So that's a win.
Yes.
Thanks so much for bringing me.
Oh, you're so
much. So glad to be here with you.
Yes, thank you. And thank you. And again, you can find out more about him with the links that I'm going to put in the description box. So thank you, all of you, for joining us tonight for 10,000 Things, where two sisters writing and publishing share everything you need to know to write, publish, and promote a book. Thank you to our very dear special guest this evening, Micah Blacklight, the artist who created our cover for our third anthology. And thank you, Catherine, for the brilliant idea of creating our anthologies and starting our short story contest, which, if you'd like to join or enter, please go to twosisterswriting.com. Thank you, both of you, Catherine and Micah, and we will see all of you viewers next week for another episode of 10,000 Things. Happy reading and happy writing.
Bye for now.
Take care, y'all.
Bye-bye.